Hi, everybody. We have some good stuff tonight that we're gonna talk about, and I think tonight's gonna be a short one. So, because mine's gonna be short because it's short and sweet and simple. But we're gonna. I have a couple things I want to start with. I was just thinking for what I wanted to have you guys share with. So my thought is, who had an aha moment with their personal development today? Go, Dana.
Well, it's been a rough couple of days. Like, I've been getting super frustrated, like realizing that like I've been close to elite so many times but never like actually got there. And it's one of those things where I was getting super frustrated today, and then just I was messaging with Amy and with Valerie and Alicia. And it's just like between all of them, they were just kind of like, you know what, it'll come when it's right, you know. And then Valerie gave me some good, a good blend for, what was it? Just for overcoming those roadblocks, you know, because I mean, for me, I think it's more of just this mental block. Like, I'm just going to be stuck here, you know, and, you know, I'm trying to get my husband on board, but he sees me being stuck, and I'm like, no, I've got to get past it so that he'll jump on board with me and, you know, support it and everything. And just kind of, you know, everybody just kind of helped me realize that, you know what, it's going to come, and it's going to come at the right time. And then I had one enroll today, and I knew she was going to enroll and was anticipating like about 240 PV, and then she ended up bumping it close up to 310. And I'm like, oh my goodness, if I can get one more enrollment tonight, then I think I can do this. Because I have a small order that I can put in, but it's like, if I'm not going to make it, then I'll just hold it for tomorrow. You know, so it was one of those things where it's like, Alicia was just like, you know what? She's like, when it's right, it's going to be right. And you just need to realize that you're taking the right steps. And the other times that you've been there, it's been you doing all of the work to get there. And this time you've got your team putting orders in, get you there, and you didn't do all of it yourself. So it's just kind of like those little things, you know. I'm realizing that I need to accept the slow and steady, even though I'm a very impatient person and I just want to do it all right now. Just realizing those limitations that, you know, I mean, it's like, yeah, I've got a family and I can't spend full time working on this right now. So I need to just keep methodically working towards everything. And it is all coming together. And just kind of, yeah, if that makes sense.
It does, totally. Thanks for sharing.
Yeah.
That's great.
So just a little bit on your next move to Premier. Romy explains it really well, and I've heard her do it a million times. But it's going to be different for Premier because you've got to have your two executives, right? So it's not. So you've got to have people working with you now. From this point forward, you've been able to pretty much get that 3,000 for the elite.
Right.
But now it's a little bit different. So you've got to have those partners on board with you so that you're not pulling the whole wagon now.
Right.
So just keep that in mind, that the next step, in a lot of ways, it should be easier because you've got somebody helping you pull the cart.
Right.
So just keep that in mind.
Yep.
That's not all on your shoulders.
Yep.
So you're right on track.
Yes.
Awesome.
You're bleeding. My God.
I have scrapes and scratches all over from working in the woods. Oh, good Lord. Anybody else want to share before we move on?
Hey, Romy, I have something just real quick.
Okay.
Saw this quote today, and it really hit home with me. It says, we don't choose our future, we choose our habits, and our habits determine our future. So often when we think about a big future we think of what we would like to accomplish, but those day-to-day habits help determine what that future will look like. And there's a wonderful book, if you haven't read it, called The Power of Habit by Charles Duhigg. And it goes into kind of the why we do things habitually, because it saves energy in our brains and in our bodies to do things just completely out of habit without having to engage our mind. So the power of those habits are so powerful that it can control, what we do day to day completely without us thinking about it. So if we want to change our future, we need to start thinking about those habits that we just do without thinking subconsciously to get to that future. If we just envision this future that we want to see, but we don't change the small daily habits, it makes it difficult to get to where we want to go. So that was just something that struck me today when I read it. I've read that book before, and it just brought me back to the importance of picking out specific habits that you want to change, if you want to get somewhere else.
Yeah, I think that's super important, because with that, like you said, it does become like second nature. We stop striving for some of the things that we want to do, and we just all of a sudden just step into it. And it is being patient with ourselves as we develop those good habits in the direction that we want to go. Thanks for sharing. By the way, I wanted to say something last week about Crystal and Neil as we were talking about rank advancements, but I didn't talk to them ahead of time. So Crystal and Neil advanced to gold last month, this month. Oh my gosh, I've already been to the next month. So we love you guys. We are so, so proud of you. If you want to take a minute and talk about, just talk for a minute, that would be awesome.
I used my words, so I'll let Crystal talk.
And you're on.
Yeah. It was kind of surreal. It's awesome. And it's just this realization that we made the right decision really choosing to do this intentionally last September. So we really feel like we're in the Lord's will. I don't really know that I can say anything else, but we celebrated Saturday with our team, and there were a lot of tears and a lot of joy and a lot of connection, and it was just brilliant. So I look at Dana and I'm just like, just keep pushing, girl. It's there. Just keep pushing. You got this.
Yeah. Awesome.
Congratulations, and I'd like to say one thing to everybody else. So, we've talked about the lives on Facebook and that, and so in the last probably 3 months, I think that's about when we started the Facebook Live Zooms and challenges and stuff like that. Is 3 to 4 months, but we heard from Jennifer Yates last week, Neil and Crystal this week. They both made huge advancements, but as far as the importance of Facebook Lives, Jennifer and Crystal have been consistently doing Facebook Lives every single day since those challenges started. So it just goes to prove those Facebook Lives are working really well. They've both been the 2 top enrollers in our whole organization of 43,000 people. Crystal and Jennifer have been the top enrollers for the last 4 months. And they have been doing Facebook Lives since we started that program. So, food for thought.
I just wanted to be clear, like, we don't necessarily enroll a lot from Facebook, really not much, but what it does is it people talk. And so in this neighborhood or the people around you, someone hears your name, like eventually then they call you, and then someone will message me later and say, oh, I talked to so-and-so today and they watched one of your lives. And so that's what it does. It creates people knowing who you are, and you just want to be the oil lady. That's it.
Yep. Yeah.
Even if you're the crazy oil lady.
Hey, I told him I'm the not so crazy oil lady.
We have one more goal accomplishment, which is pretty awesome. And Tracy made Elite this month. And what's super cool about that is the commitment and just that stepping into the game and just making that decision to go for it. And so super, super proud of you, Tracy. Way proud of you. So great job.
Thank you.
And while we're talking advancement, we don't forget Iris.
We did that.
I know we did it last week, but I don't want to leave her out.
That's right. Yay, Iris.
Yes.
Yay, Iris.
And it is so much more fun to have people with you doing this versus, trying to get that 3,000 PV all by yourself. It's otherwise it'd just be exhausting. So I'm really looking forward to Premiere. Really looking forward to Premiere.
Yep, the best is yet to come.
Yay.
So that leads us into what we're going to talk about next. So, and we were actually supposed to do this last week, and I dropped the ball because of everything that was happening. So Corey and Jim and Cindy have actually, they are creating a community for all of you that are elite and below. And you guys, I'll let them explain more. I just want to kind of give them a segue into this. So it is going to be a community of support for those of you or the people on your team that may feel like they need a little bit extra information and the camaraderie and the community to be able to step into that position and move into elite. And it will give the tools to, as you move into elite, move into the leadership role and be able to duplicate that with the rest of the people as you bring them onto your team. So I'm going to let Jim and Cindy and Corey talk about their group because I think it's pretty exciting. We've actually made it, I can't think of what the name of it is.
Linked.
Yeah.
Linked.
Yes. We linked it to Rockstars because we want it to be a resource for the team that comes into Rockstars that are building a business, whether they're just getting on board with this or have been on board for a long time. Jim and Cindy and Corey are a very cohesive team as they're working together. It's awesome to be able to see their commitment level and the personal development and everything. They're just really right in there with everything that needs to be done as far as the commitment level with moving forward into whatever their dreams and visions and goals are. So with that, you guys take it away, and then we'll move into the spreadsheet.
I just dropped everything. So, Corey, Cindy and I have been doing doTERRA now for about a year, and of course we met Corey, and as time progressed, he became very much involved and committed to this journey as we are, and so we talk quite a bit about different types of marketing, different things. We share a lot of information, different things that we're learning all over the place, and the different things of what we've been doing for reaching out to people, how we're reaching out to people, those types of things. And Corey came up with the idea of creating a group that we talked about for like people that are elite and below, a place for people to be able to plug in and learn a lot of the basic type of things so they don't have to reinvent the wheel and go through some of the things that Cindy and I have gone through and a lot of other people. And so the whole point of this is we'd like to have people join in with us, comment. We have what's called units, and so we put quite a bit of content already up in there right now that we'll be continually adding to. We will have, we're going to try at least once a month, do a Zoom call, and we'll have the various leaders and so forth speak on different things of what they're doing in terms of in their market. We Facebook Lives, I do a lot of LinkedIn work, all these different types of concepts, and down into, getting into the grass. And so I've learned a lot, and I forward a lot of my conversations to Romy, in learning to make sure that how I'm my approach, because I was a financial advisor for over 30 years. My approach is the opportunity approach, and then turning that into the oils and so forth. And so we're working with that process. It's been effective. And so it's been a big growing, for us. And so, so we're always sharing back and forth on Facebook with Corey. Corey and I and Cindy are part of what's called Rank Makers with Ray Higdon. And we get a lot of information from there that we're going to be posting and talking about. And it's kind of funny that Neil brought up habits. And so Cindy and I have been doing a lot of studying, taking a lot of notes on habits that we'll be posting in there as well. And so, but the point is that we want to get to a point as we're bringing on new builders, we want to be able to plug them into the group. And we want the leaders here to recognize what it is so that they know that they could bring people that are interested and want to build the business, that they'll have a place to be able to put them in where they can get information. So we're excited. It's been a lot of fun. And I think that in the long haul, it's going to help us, and hopefully it would help everybody on the teams to be able to plug their people in that they'll be able to learn from as well. So Corey, do you have a comment?
Yeah, so for all those that don't know me, my name is Corey Osborne. I've been a consumer for about a year now. I've been involved in the business probably about 6 months, engaged for about 3 months. And I could probably tell you that I've learned more in 3 months as if I went and got a bachelor's degree. I'm probably becoming the professional learner, which is probably, I've said this before, it's kind of sometimes too much. You need to kind of back off and sometimes default to best practices or some of the basics. And that's kind of the idea. This will help everybody. But, when you're hitting those walls of why am I not getting any engagement? And like, for example, I just pulled my build list back out, thought I had it memorized and I was doing it in my memory. I wasn't using it. I pulled it back out and I felt like I'm making more progress again. So the idea for our group is to simply, like Jim said, is to, if you want to share your prospecting information with us, so we can all have a conversation of what works or what doesn't, or what maybe switch up your words a little bit. I mean, what Jim didn't mention is between Ray, Eric Ware, we listen to a lot of Big Al Schrader, and it's all pretty much the same perspective, but a different spin, and that different spin might help you or fit better in the way you approach people than some of the the way you were taught maybe by, whoever taught you, or if you were trying to learn it from the internet. So the idea here is too, that we all know that Romy's team, Neil and Crystal and team, they got a lot of people. They're not going to be able to cover as much ground as they would probably like to. So it's also an opportunity for those people to come in and just literally ask those very basic questions. And, Jim and I and Cindy might even think, hey, we've heard this a million times, but we'll start building a culture to where, you search through the units, you find some stuff before you post a question and that kind of stuff. But the idea will help us until we get to that level to also remember the basics of what we need to do to get to the next rank. So, and because we are paying for rank makers, we're both paying for that. It's $20 a month. I think we've encouraged people to do that. However, we're happy to share that so everybody else doesn't have to do that. But it's basically an action step every single day, kind of like what we talk about weekly, but it's an action step every day. And then some sort of training as well. So we get an hour of that every day that we're going to try to share. We won't be able to share the videos all the time, but we can share the dialogue from the videos. So that's kind of our goal as well. I'm committing to being there every day, posting. We'll do the same thing, kind of similar to our rock stars and stuff, as motivational stuff as well as professional development. As Jim said, we got units in there. It's a different way of doing it where you can organize like a folder. I call it a folder. It's not really a unit, but that's how it is. You click on the unit section in the group, and then there's prospecting, there's content creation, there's resources. Like, for example, all the books we've read and what we like and what we would recommend, there's a section there. You can go check out what books we have up there. So, again, we're just getting started too. I'm extremely motivated. I have a corporate job that I cannot stand. So I'm ready to move on and quickly as well. So being that I'm in at 3 months, I'm looking forward to what my 12 months looks like. So if anybody's got any questions, I'm happy to answer. And of course, feedback. You guys, whatever you want in there, you tell us. Let's figure out how to make it a community that everybody can get on board with.
So you all may be wondering what the name of the group is. It's Freedom Seekers 101. And we have learned a lot from trial and error. So the idea is to eliminate that, hopefully, for other people, and also to learn together. You know, like I say, like we were saying, it's questions and answers. And, you know, maybe there's questions that you don't feel you want to ask in a bigger group just because, you know, there are people that are way higher rank. This is the place to ask those questions and get whatever feedback. And again, we're going to be learning along with you as well as sharing what we've already learned. So we hope it's really helpful for everyone.
I think it's going to be awesome, and I'm super excited, and I'm grateful that you guys are taking the reins on this, and I think it's going to be great. So it is linked into Rockstars. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to ask questions if you want to join, and we can post a link to the group in Rockstars as well. So that'll.
Romy, it's in there. If you just go to the About section of Rockstars, there will be a link circle icon that says what groups are linked to Rockstars, and I believe it's the only one in there right now. So let me double check.
The cafe should be in there as well.
Yep, the cafe is also linked. So you just click on that. We have it closed right now, and that's only as we get going. We want to keep it closed so as people jump on and answer the questions, it helps us gauge where you're at, so we can help with our content creation, what we're gonna put up there at that relevant time. So if you've got a question or you're looking to do a specific thing, we can gear our content towards that.
Awesome.
Corey and Jim and Cindy, thank you so much for this. I've got 2 or 3 people that I'm gonna put on there, so you'll be.
Well, that'll be great. It's a lot of fun. We appreciate that.
Hopefully they'll want to.
No.
Okay, so we are gonna move into going over the spreadsheet. We talked a little bit about it last week, and there's actually a file in Rockstars that is that's called ranking sheets, I think is what it's called. Anyway, it's a spreadsheet that I created in the very beginning to help me to track the team as far as where my numbers were at, what I needed to be able to create the next rank. It just gave me a snapshot of what was happening with us. And in the beginning, I did it every single day. And it was actually one of the things that Mark and I did together as Mark started to come on to
more involved.
Yeah, do this together. So one of the things, just for for you guys that are working with your significant other or as a couple. One of the things that I think really helped us when we started doing this is that I created in the back office, there's a business tab, and you can pay to have that business tab until you get farther on where you have a lot of people on your team and it becomes difficult to sort and find your people. It's really that part, you know, you can get it if you want, but it's not necessary to.
You can get the same information from your detailed genealogy or whatever. It just takes longer. In the business groups, you can, like Romy, we have our qualifying leaders. Each one of those has their own group. When you click on one of those qualifying leaders, it goes to their qualifiers. And so we know exactly where each of our qualifying leaders is in relationship to where they need to be for where we need to be. So we did it daily. She'd read off the name and I'd look it up and give her the numbers and she'd put them in the spreadsheet, and at the end we could know exactly how many dollars we had left to get to the rank we were trying to go.
One of the benefits of that is that one, it got Mark into the back office, so he became very familiar with the back office. Plus, it also allowed us to have some time to talk about what was happening. So it was really a very gradual way for us to be able to start to work together, and for Mark to be able to understand a little bit more how the process was going. It was just a very gradual process in that. So
it really helped me a lot, because up until that point, she would say, well, this person needs this person to get to elite and this person to get to somewhere, and then they'll be silver. And I'm like, well, that's cool. That's really great. Good deal, honey. But then once I got into the numbers, I knew exactly what she was talking about. And it really helped me. And now, I mean, some ladies don't like their husband to be too involved in their back office. They think they're going to go in there and screw something up. But now I take care of the back office entirely. Romy doesn't. I tell her what's going on now. So she has more time to do what she needs to do and what she does best, which is, I'm numbers and she's not numbers. But she knows what she's doing. So I can take the crap and use it. So
I had done quick time since I've done a screen share, so let me see here. So I'm going to go to this one first. Does everybody see that? Yes? Okay. So I have to get my stuff out of the way. So there's a couple of tabs on here that I use. So this one is what I don't use this one anymore because Mark uses a calendar for this. But what this is that I would go in and I would put in every single day the OV and what the enrollments were. And this is valuable whether you are just starting, whether you're an elite, diamond, whatever rank you are. This is really helpful. And one of the reasons that I think this is so helpful is that we, over the course of time, historically, doTERRA has some really good business months and they have some lower business months. And so, and even with our own individual businesses and with the things that are happening with the team, it makes it so if you have a month, if you've been tracking from the beginning, you can go back through and you can say, okay, this month is kind of not very good. What's happening? Well, if you have all this data, you can go back and say, oh, this is what happened last year as well. And it also gives you a chance to be able to to look at hard figures when you think that things may not be going as well as what you are expecting to be happening. You can go back and you can and you can watch your progress. So it's a great way to track what you do. Right now, the way that Mark does it is that he has a calendar. Yeah.
Yep. I just have a little calendar that you can get free. I usually get mine every year. He has nice little calendars that work perfect. But every single day, I write down our OV and our enrollments. And I can go back 6 years on that calendar and see mainly if this is an up or down month, but it's really quite eye-opening for me to go back 6 years and look at our OV compared to today. Of course, this month is a BOGO month, so I'm sure a lot of you saw what Natalie posted. They were 800,000, I think, in that week.
Million.
Or no, 1 million. Well, Rockstars was about 800,000 of that million. So thank you, by the way. So
Yeah.
this BOGO month, we are at almost $2 million, where normally we're at a little over 1 million, between 1 and 1.5 million for our total team OV. So, but I can look at that and go back 6 years, and I can guarantee you that our OV at that time was probably about $12,000 a month at that point. So, you guys, it's coming. Don't worry, it's coming. Yeah. But it's just really, really great to be able to compare month to month, year to year, day to day. So.
Yeah. So, and this spreadsheet, this is what we do. So it starts off very, very basic. Spreadsheet that I have now is definitely different than this. So what you'll do, and you can adjust this in whatever rank you want to do. So the way that it's set up is, so say this is, I'll just say this is my spreadsheet. So one of my qualifiers is Lateran. So Lateran would go in the dark purple, and then her qualifiers would go in the light purple. And same way with each. So you're like when you're first starting off with this, you would have the 3 leaders, and you would do the same thing. It doesn't matter. You don't have 3 people go into the lighter shaded columns. What's really important is that you plug in the people that you do have in the positions that you need them in, and the positions that you don't have people in, you leave it blank, because then it just kind of leaves that area open. So what happens is that, so you'll put the name in there. In order for me to be silver on this one, Lateran would need to have the volume of the 3,000. So it's actually so it's already automatic in there. So if I put in that she has 2,500, then that tells you how much extra volume she would need in order to become elite, and that would qualify her, put her as the qualifying leader. And then you would move down and you would do the same thing with each qualifying leader. One of the things that I also did with this is that even though I didn't have I had certain people that I was working with that were not necessarily my qualifying people, but I still was working with them and I still wanted to track them. So that's where my spreadsheet ended up being kind of messy in there. So I had a lot of people that we were tracking. But so the formulas are set up in such a way that all you have to do is plug the name in and then go through and plug your daily volume in to be able to track that. If you do that every day, you really, seriously, you know, right down to the penny what it is that you need to do as you're moving into your next rank, or however that works. what I did with that is that, so you have your main sheet that you use, and then you just create new tabs for each month. So it would, some of you, does that make sense? Right? Are y'all still with me? I think that the most important thing to remember is it's very basic, it's very simple, and if you keep it basic and simple, it will stay easier. I ended up adding so much in there that it ended up to be quite complicated. So when I had the spreadsheet when we were going for blue, I not only had the formula calculated for blue, but then all of those numbers formulated into another spreadsheet that I created to let me know how far I was from presidential. I don't recommend doing that. It was super fun for me to be able to say, oh my gosh, look at where we're at. But it was too much work to do something like that. It really is important just to keep your spreadsheet right down to the basics of what you need to move forward, and then just go for it. And as you do the spreadsheet, you'll know the different tweaks that you want to make in order to be able to utilize it. Questions? Comments?
Can you send us that?
Yep. It's actually, I'll upload it again. There is one in Rockstars, but I'll upload it again. I actually had another, let me see if I can, I had another one that I was going to show you that was maybe make it better, that has some stuff filled in. So this is gives you a little bit better view of how things go. And you really just plug your people in. So that's that. But I'll definitely put the spreadsheet in Rockstars. If you have questions about it, if it's something, this is not a requirement, this is not something that y'all have to do. This is just a tool that I use, and if it looks like it's something that it may resonate with you guys, by all means try it. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, it's okay. And if you decide you want to use it and you need some help with figuring it out, just reach out and I can answer your questions with that. But it does take some of the guesswork out. When it comes to rank advancing, as you move into the silver ranks and beyond, there is a lot more tracking to do. It's super, super important to figure out how you're going to track stuff. And when you're tracking, when you're first starting off, if you can get into whatever kind of habit or routine that you're going to do to be able to track your numbers, it's very, very important to start now. I don't care if you are a director. It's really, really important to get in there and figure out how you're going to track, what you're going to do with those numbers, and stay on top of it, because that is the habit that's going to move you forward. And to be able to, when you get to the end of the month, because I'm telling you, the back office is slow at the end of the month. When you're getting ready to figure out where you're at with your qualifications and all of that, when the back office doesn't update and you are expecting your rank to show up or your bonus to show up or whatever, it's super important that you already know that you're qualified. The back office just hasn't caught up with you. So as business owners, it is our responsibility to know what the numbers are. And if we sit back and wait for the back office to show us where we're at, we are going to be so frustrated. I am telling you, you are going to want to swallow glass. It's terrible if you don't know where you're at. So this is just one more tool to be able to help you out with that. So I got done way early. Oh, okay. Go, Tracy.
And I can attest to that, because I was waiting and waiting for an enrollment to show up, and I am just like, where is it? Where is it? And you know, I kept flipping back and forth and couldn't find it, and it took forever. And I was just like, where's the production? Where
Yeah.
is it? Yeah. And so I have a question. Do you put yourself on that spreadsheet as well?
I
You
so
know,
I have, I don't put my, like the whole information on there. I do have a tab at the top where I keep track of the whole team volume, just for my information to be able to do it that way. So you can put little notes in there, and that's what I do. I do the date, and I do the rank that I'm going for. I do the OV. I do the enrollments, different things like that. So it really is dependent on what you want to track. You can add stuff in there. Just remember, if you change out the lines in the main part of that, you could mess up the formula.
oh yeah.
So what I recommend is keep the first one, whatever, what is that? The original. Keep that and double up. Just copy that. And then it doesn't matter if you mess it up. You've still got the original. The formula will still stay there.
Okay. Because I was thinking, you know, you're still enrolling, or I would still be enrolling. So you've got, you know, you kind of like treat yourself as, you know, your own team member, I guess.
Yep.
Kind of thing.
Yep.
Okay. That's very cool. And it's simple, because we tend to overcomplicate things.
Yes.
Because it's so much more fun.
Uh-huh.
Well, and when you're elite or premier, there's not as much to keep track of. So once you hit silver rank, you've got a lot more people that to make that qualifying work. So this is just a lot easier to keep track of all those people.
And then you're already in the habit. Then it's just a matter of adding one more person in there and their volume, and you just keep on going. You don't have to figure out all of the people that you're doing once you get to a certain rank. You're already in the process. You've already created that good habit. So, Corey, did you have something? Anybody else?
Questions?
All righty.
Cool. Let's see those spreadsheets next week.
Okay, we're going to move on to the giveaways unless somebody has a burning desire.
Cindy McClellan is raising her hand. I'm not sure if she's meaning to do that. Cindy,
Oh, okay.
she muted.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I was trying to ask a question about the spreadsheet. And I am only a director, but I was wondering where you said the dark green part was, and I noticed on your spreadsheet that one person had 6,000 in OV, and I'm curious, would that be all her business, or would it be her business plus the people under her?
That is team volume. So that would be her and her whole team. So you would look at the OV. So it is the whole team volume.
Okay, I was getting a little scared.
And by the way, Cindy, you are a director, not only a director.
Yes.
Director is something to be proud of.
I'm actually proud. I just got my first oils in the middle of May.
Wow, and, fantastic.
So I just posted my first information letting people know that I was with doTERRA during our BOGO week, and I was able to bring in 2 of my friends. So
whoa,
awesome.
So that was exciting for me. And I got my first check from doTERRA today.
Sweet. Congratulations. Hang on to that. Make a copy of it, or remember, because I think everyone goes back to what their first check was, and there's always an emotion that's connected with that. So
I
keep in mind what that is.
Thank you.
Would you mind sharing how much your first check was?
It was, well, Patty Odom is my upline, my direct upline, and she had sent me something a couple of weeks ago to have it deposited directly, and I just totally forgot with BOGO and everything going on. So it should have been for $83 and something, but it was for $81 minus the $3 fee that they charge.
Holy moly, you were like 3 times as much as
Would you
mine
like to
was.
share how much your first check was?
It was like $13.
$13.67, I think.
Yeah, and I freaking cried.
And I went, way to go, honey. That's so good. I'm glad your business is doing so good.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
I was excited. Thank you.
Yes, that's very, very good. Thinking about that, no matter what your check is, always, always stay in gratitude. Always, always. Because my lesson in that was that was the first installment for what was coming. And as soon as I stepped into the gratitude aspect of things, no matter what size my check was, my check continued to climb. And so it's super, super important to stay in gratitude in everything that we do in our business. We are going to have frustrating times, but it's still better than anything else.
With it, it will pay off.
Yes.
The only way you can't make, and Bert Rigby told me this when we first started, and he said, the only way you won't make money with doTERRA is if you quit. And he told us that in the very beginning, it's going to take 3 to 5 years and you'll be making good money. And I went, I don't want to wait that long. But those 3 years went by fast, and I'll tell you, it's worth it. It's awesome. So.
Oh, hey, I just want to say one more thing. I'm still in excitement mode. I'm so grateful that Cindy spoke up because we love her so much already. My first check was like $13 too. It wasn't much. And this month's fast pay, should I say? I don't know what's fast start. It'll be $1,600.
Holy moly! Great job.
Yeah,
I've never done that.
But it's just BOGO week was how much?
Almost
1,100 in BOGO week.
Wow!
Very
Great
nice.
job.
Yeah.
Great job.
Well, it totally works.
Yeah.
I pay for my $100 a month. People say sometimes to me like they're a little concerned, but I'm like, it's so paid for.
Yeah.
Over and over.
Fantastic.
I was gonna say something else, but I forgot. But anyway.
That's awesome. And that is a good point in what the Fast Start checks are. So for those of you that are just starting, if you're not aware, you get a Fast Start check every week. So if you enroll someone this week, you will get a check for that enrollment next week. So there's times when we talk to people and they say that, there are people that are struggling with their finances. That is reality. However, this is an awesome way to be able to show someone that you can pretty much get in there and get a check every week and get your stuff, your oils especially, paid for when it comes time to placing that next month's loyalty rewards order. So Fast Start is an awesome way to be able to create an income right in the beginning as you get going. So that's what I got with that. Did you have something else, Crystal?
Oh, sorry, I hit something. No, the last thing I was going to say was when we came into it, we did have the mindset that obviously I want to get things done really fast, but I said I'm going to give myself 5 years, and 1 year is done.
Nice.
And we're like halfway there. So
very cool. Very cool. And it is I totally believe that it is the commitment level as you get moving. When you start, you just have to decide. Just make the decision that you're going to do it. You're committed no matter what. This is what you're going to do. You're going to have hard times. You're going to have days that you don't want to talk to anybody. There's just going to be hard times. But the hard times are absolutely nothing compared to the good times and compared to the people that come into your life. I'm telling you what, the paycheck is freaking awesome. It gives us the kind of life that we want, but the paycheck is really nothing compared to the people that are in our lives now. The people that we love. I mean, like, legitimately, we have friends and people that we love, and we do business with those people. How many times are you able to get into a job where you can honestly say you just love and adore your coworker and would do anything for them, or the boss, or whatever? And yes, we have good jobs out there. It's not against that part of it, but we have amazing people in our lives, and they just keep coming. It's just like having more and more kids. You don't think your heart's going to be able to get any bigger with gratitude and love, and it just does as the people come into your life. So.
And one thing too, when we first got into it, I mean, doTERRA was only a couple of years old. So 3 to 5 years was pretty realistic. Now, doTERRA is pretty getting more and more and more to be a household word. It's going to be in more homes. It's actually, it's taking people less and less time to hit diamond. In fact, the last group we were together with presidential diamonds and blue diamonds and diamonds, one of the comments was, diamond is the new silver, because it's taking people less time to achieve diamond now than it ever has before. Our first convention we went to, we were elite. There was only about 10 diamonds at that time. We were walking around with our chests all puffed out, being elite, because there weren't even that many elites at that time. But now, I mean, because doTERRA is so popular, people want it. It's easier and easier to I shouldn't say easy. It's more common for people to hit diamond in a shorter period of time. So I would say that the time period now is more like 1 to 3 years than 3 to 5.
And a good point to that is that there's a lot of people that aren't familiar with network marketing, and they will say, well, you must have got in early. You must have got in right in the beginning. That's why you're doing so well. Well, we have a presidential diamond underneath us on the team that Bailey and Matthew joined after us. They're on our team, and they are above us in rank. So it's possible for whatever you want, and it has absolutely nothing to do with when you join and when you start doing your business. It depends on you. So with that, let's do a giveaway.
What are we giving away today?
The first giveaway is a Serenity.
How much is this going to cost me? What?
Gosh,
Serenity bath bar with this is like a essential oil charm.
Ooh.
I'm gonna start giving away something too, Mark.
Perfect.
You're giving away what? 2 things at once now?
Yeah.
She's pairing them.
Huh.
You're in abundance, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are in abundance.
I'll be calling you.
Okay. And the winner of the 2 products is Chrissy Story. So,
awesome.
Congratulations. Can I keep going, Mark?
Yep.
Okay.
Well, what do you got next?
A rosemary.
Awesome.
We just needed some of that.
Well, yeah, but somebody else needs it better.
Put our name in that.
So you know, just a little bit of something about rosemary for my personal experience. So I've been doing a protocol for some thyroid health and and all of that. So I've been doing rosemary in a capsule for like a lymphatic flush. And I can't tell you exactly what has happened with my body when I do the capsule, but it makes me feel good. It makes my body feel good. It just feels good.
Maybe Dana can tell.
Is Dana still here?
Yeah.
I don't see her.
She's right there.
Oh.
Can you tell us what's happening, Dana?
No, I can't because I don't have rosemary.
Oh,
there you go. Now you have to buy it.
I know. Now I have that. I just added like 10 things to my list that I need to buy, and I'm like, maybe I need to get it.
Yeah, it's an awesome feeling. So if you feel like you want to or need to try it, try it.
And they say that it helps for hair to grow.
You haven't.
It's not working on me.
Oh my goodness.
And the winner is Connie Butch.
Awesome! Congratulations!
How about one of my shirts, Kenzie?
Okay, they're in the basement.
Oh, geez.
How many drops, Romy, in your capsule?
I do 8. I was supposed to do 4 like twice a day. I just don't do that because I forget. I always forget the second dose, so I just do it all at once.
Okay, thank you.
Probably not the best way, but it works.
Have you got something else in your little bag of tricks?
A ginger.
Oh.
Are we talking about it, or can I announce?
You can announce.
The winner.
Unless you want to talk about it.
I'm good. The winner is Sam.
Sam! Look at that. He comes out of nowhere.
That is awesome. Woo! Congratulations, Sam. It's good to see your face, even if it's in the dark.
We can't see your face, but it would be good to see your face.
Okay, the camera's on. It counts.
There he is.
Oh, you're muted.
She has to go to the basement. Do you have time to go to the basement?
No, she doesn't have to. She's just giving a t-shirt away.
Well, I can give one away, and then I'll just get it and slip it out.
So what does it say?
Well, they got to know what it says.
Well, don't you know?
Yeah. Okay. This can only be for someone that can wear a small t-shirt. I don't know how you're going to do that, Kenzie, but that's up to you.
Well, if they want to let their kid wear it to sleep, I'm fine with that too.
Our job is to give gift. It's none of our business what they do with it.
Okay.
Carry on.
I'll go get one and show you what it is.
I don't know what you fed Mark for dinner, but you should do it more often. I am digging Mark tonight.
He's been working hard. He has the physical adrenaline running.
He does. The little boy in him is out tonight, and I like it.
Yes. Maybe we should stop the recording. Oh, we're right at the hour. Let's stop the recording.
Okay.